Moving to Ukraine now. Ukraine's President Zelensky has arrived in Japan, where he's meeting world leaders at the G7 summit. He said that peace will become closer after the US agreed to train Ukrainian pilots on American F-16 fighter jets, paving the way for European countries to supply the warplanes to Kyiv. Moscow said Western countries will be running colossal risks if the jets are sent to Ukraine. Our political editor Chris Mason reports from Hiroshima.
The airport here has welcomed rather a few leaders in the last few days, and here came another one. After a tour of Europe and a trip to the Middle East, President Zelensky arrived in Japan today. Long-haul diplomacy amid a long, drawn-out war and ongoing pleas for help. They met on Monday in the UK and they met again here, the President and the Prime Minister.
Yeah, made it.
Ukraine's leader said enhanced cooperation would bring victory for him and claimed peace is closer.
Zelensky, are you closer to peace now, sir?
For months, Ukraine has been asking for warplanes, and in particular these fighter jets, F-16s. America, which makes them, has now said its allies who have them can give them to Ukraine. The UK doesn't have any of these planes, but is one of several countries, including the US, that will help the Ukrainian Air Force.
The United States will support a joint effort to train Ukrainian pilots on fourth-generation fighter aircraft, including F-16s. We have turned to discussions about improving the Ukrainian Air Force as part of our long-term commitment to Ukraine's self-defense.
This is unquestionably a big win for Ukraine, securing the first stage of what it's long hoped for, the training of its pilots, with the expectation that the planes themselves will follow. And President Zelensky is the centre of attention here, and that sends a pretty blunt message to Moscow. But not everyone is a straightforward cheerleader for Ukraine. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has never condemned Russia's invasion. The G7 leaders gathered for what's known as their family photo this afternoon. They'll have more talks with Volodymyr Zelensky throughout the weekend.
Chris Mason there. Well, the G7 leaders also sent a warning to countries who use trade as a weapon. They said they will face consequences. In a statement, they explained any country trying to, as they put it, weaponize economic dependence would fail. But they insisted their policy was not designed to target China, but to promote global economic resilience. Well, the leaders have also reiterated their commitment to phasing out fossil fuels and meeting their common goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050 at the latest, in order to keep a global warming limit of 1.5 degrees Celsius within reach. Artificial intelligence was also a major talking point. The leaders have called for the establishment of standards to make sure AI is trustworthy and in line with shared democratic values.